Hi, I'm Mark Tyrrell of Uncommon Knowledge and hypnosisdownloads.com, and welcome to How to Stop Shy Bladder Syndrome, 5 tips to get you going again. Okay, so we've all been there. Okay, help me out here, fellas. You're standing at the urinal, you want to go, but you just can't. Anxiety, embarrassment, self-consciousness, feeling pressured around other people. Whatever the cause, most of us have sometimes experienced shy or bashful bladder, as it's sometimes called. But for some men and women, shy bladder syndrome becomes chronic. It starts to dictate their lives almost. So take Nick, a client of mine, for example. He was a successful man in his 30s when he came for help. And he recounted how when he was 17, he'd been under pressure to perform well in exams in college. And one day he'd been standing next to his father at a public urinal when he found he just couldn't pee. But it got far worse than that. Now married with children, he had reached the point where restroom privacy had become an absolute obsession for him. He would even insist that his family leave the house for 10 minutes every time he needed to visit the toilet. So it really was starting to become an overwhelming part of his life. And he said, I know everything there is to know about shy bladder syndrome. I've looked it all up, I've read all about it, I've been to see people, he explained. My doctor tells me that it's really common and people don't like to talk about it. And I've had months of cognitive therapy and analysed my thoughts around it till I'm blue in the face. And he said that, he could write a textbook on the subject, but he still had the blessed problem. Okay, so Nick did get over shy bladder experiences, and as a result, he suddenly found he could embrace freedoms that hadn't been available to him for years. He could meet up with friends for drinks without concern, go on holidays again, and make long journeys, all without worrying about whether he'd find a toilet or whether he'd need the toilet, rather. So if you suffer shy bladder syndrome, here are some tips to help you get back in flow. Okay, so tip number 1, trust your unconscious mind. Sure, this one's easier said than done, but stick with me. Okay, anxiety and conscious focus interrupt and prevent natural physical processes. When people become anxious about going to sleep, for example, consciously trying to sleep can totally prevent the onset of sleep, because drifting off to sleep is really, or should be, under the expertise of the unconscious mind, not something that we consciously will to happen. Similarly, when a natural function like urinating becomes a conscious effort, then the whole process gets disrupted. The unconscious mind takes care of so much of life for us, blinking, digestion, erections, breathing, menstrual cycles, salivation, and many other processes are best left to the part of your mind that knows how to operate them much better than you do, than your conscious mind does. Close your eyes before going out and tell your unconscious mind, today or tonight, I, the conscious mind, am going to let you oversee what you do so well. I'm going to stop interfering, stop micromanaging, and let you do what you're really good at. This may sound crazy, but this self-suggestion has worked for many shy bladder sufferers. Tip number 2, overcome shy bladder by rehearsing success. Your imagination is a powerful tool, so use it. When you're actually using the toilet at home, imagine you're in a public restroom, feeling relaxed. This will help prepare you for using one for real. You may have noticed that some restrooms feel easier than others. Perhaps they're less busy. Make a list of easy restrooms, averagely difficult ones, and harder ones. Okay? Take a week to use just the easier ones. Okay? Maybe waiting for other people to leave before you go, or whatever. whilst using those, imagine that you're using the next harder one up. Okay, imagine what it looks like and what it would feel like to be in there, and how it feels to be relaxed in there. When you use, when you're in the intermediate restrooms and using that one, imagine using the hardest restroom of all, and so forth. Like any rehearsal, this constructive rehearsal can train the brain for the real thing. Tip number 3, vividly recall times before bashful bladder. When we recall times gone by, we don't just remember with the mind, we remember with the body too. So if I recall a time when I laughed with a friend, I may feel like laughing again. Okay, my body reorientates to the memory. Okay, if I recall a time I was very fit, I may feel stronger now. When someone recalls a time they were very angry, their blood pressure raises and so forth. So your body aligns to what your memory is doing. With your eyes closed, recall times when you were relaxed in a public restroom. Okay, imagine seeing yourself from the outside, looking calm and letting your body do what comes naturally, and your conscious mind butting out of the whole process. Okay, this will help realign your mind and body to the way things were and should be. Do this exercise regularly and it will start to feel more normal again to just use public restrooms. Okay, tip number 4, get someone close to you to be close to you. Okay, be mindful of who you ask to do this, but tell a trusted friend or family member and get them to be near you when you practice going to the bathroom when out and about. Yes, really. This will take some pressure off. Why? Because they'll know about it. Okay, if you can find someone this understanding. If you can't, don't worry, but if you can, it can be very effective. Blushing is only a problem when we're trying to hide blushing. Okay, if someone you know knows that you blush and they don't care about it, then you're kind of less likely to blush with them because it kind of doesn't matter. If your best friend knows you blush, then you'll care much less about it in his or her presence. So if you're a guy, practice standing at a urinal with your pal close by. If this proves funny, all the better, because laughter drives out anxiety. Women can practice urinating or just sitting in a cubicle near a trusted female friend. So that might sound insane, but if you're happy telling someone about this situation and you have someone that you trust in that way, give it a go. Tip number 6, don't give up. You will overcome it. As I said before, trying too hard to overcome an unconscious process can get in the way, but nature intends you to urinate regularly when you have opportunities to do so. Use hypnosis, speak to former sufferers, but have faith that it will get better. It took a few weeks of work, but I'll never forget the look on Nick's face when he came to tell me he'd done it. And he said, I had such a great time last night. We were all in this dance party and I drank a few beers, and you know what? I went to the bathroom 3, maybe 4 times, and it just felt so natural again. Shy bladder is a temporary condition. Use these 5 proven tips to remind your brain just how to relax and let you go as you used to. So I hope you found that useful, and if you did, please hit like and subscribe. And if you want to hear when my next video is published, hit the notification bell below this video. I'm Mark Tyrrell of Uncommon Knowledge and HypnosisDownloads.com. And if you'd like to try some of my personal development products, head over to HypnosisDownloads.com and take a look around. And thanks for watching.